can't hear you.
How's it going, Debbie?
Oh, there we go.
Live, by the way. We're on. It's happening. How are you?
Oh,
Yeah, it's. I realized I was late. John Ambrose actually was like, "Are you doing are we doing the thing?" And I was like, "Oh man, I was arguing about Star Wars with people on Facebook, and it's time to go." So here we are. There's Debbie. There's David down below. David, how are you?
It's all good. It's all good.
It's okay. I'm glad to hear it. I was sick last week. That's not why we haven't been here. It's just been, this show was, when we started this show, it was uniquely and specifically about the MCU. The MCU had something coming out every dang week, and we were going to talk about it. And we'd love to hear your thoughts on how that worked out for them. But as it turns out, that has slowed down. So there's not an MCU thing every dang week. So it was like, what are we going to be doing? But this is what we're doing. And as far as this week is concerned, we do have some new trailers out that we're going to look at. Secret Invasion trailer. Looking forward to seeing that. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know about you guys. And we're going to talk a little bit this week, or I'm going to talk about it. You guys can listen, I guess, about the Dungeons and Dragons movie, which I actually saw a couple weeks ago. I saw it at an early screening, and I've been thinking about talking. And I am a man. I think if you're a fan of the show, if you've been watching the show, I'm usually one to point out the flaws, to find the criticisms, and were you enjoying that? Let me tell you why you shouldn't be. I gotta say, I really had a good time with that Dungeons and Dragons movie, and I'm looking forward to talk about it next week after you guys have seen it. I'm excited to talk about it tonight, just in a spoiler-free review way. So we got Secret Invasion, we got Dungeons and Dragons, we got Ambrose, that arrogant. What does that say? Hold on.
The arrogant.
the arrogance.
What's up, brah?
Welcome to the show. Glad to have you with us today. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. The Blue Beetle trailer, when we get to it, I'll tell you why it annoyed me. But
that's true. We're also going to have that. Thank you for bringing that up, because we are going to have the Blue Beetle. When I mentioned that, I was like, why don't we do a show tonight? It's been a while. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, so people have been missing us, I'm sure. I have to imagine. I've been missing it. It's great to see you guys, by the way.
I missed you, Chris.
Let's have a
I
hug.
did too. Oh.
All right, that was a little weird, but I did really enjoy it. Okay, and so it's great. It's yes. MCU Mondays, we're back, and we're talking about whatever the hell. And part of that is going to be Blue Beetle, because there is a new trailer for that as well. I haven't watched that yet either. I was reading some of your comments. You were talking to what's his face? Yeah, for Andrew from Geek Now, and I was looking at your comments, and I was like, man, I can't wait to watch this trailer and then actually get to spitting about it. So we've got a lot to do. I think the next thing, though, is we need our theme song.
Of course.
So which one?
Theme song guy.
Which one? That was the old one. Maybe I could find one that has that. I don't know. I didn't because I didn't make a new one for tonight. I like to make a new theme song for each week or edit together a new thing. But I was thinking maybe at the end of the show, if we have time or if people are interested, I'll do a live stream. I'll literally make it here on the show, and then we can watch it at the end. So that might be neat. But
with this collar on, my superpower is just
unbridled cancer. Give me a bow and arrow, I'm basically Hawkeye.
I was taking a shot at Hawkeye, even though that's something we could talk about too. There's a new there's an interview with
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, has that come out yet? I just saw like an advertisement.
I
for
don't
it.
I
don't think
sometime
it
this
has.
April, but yeah, I've seen the
Yeah, because
preview
he
of
got
it.
I think
ran
Disney's
over
holding
by a-
everything until Star Wars Celebration is over, and then the other news is going to come out. I mean, that's my theory because I haven't really heard much about anything.
a decent theory, but I mean, he got ran over by that snow.
Did he lose
And
a
then-
leg?
No,
He did not lose a
He
leg.
got
He
tons of
looks
stuff
good, and he
crushed,
has
like
both legs.
ribs, but there was a lot of. I mean, I was watching the trailer for that interview, and they're talking about what he went through, and it was like, your jaw was crushed, your ribs were destroyed, your leg, and that's one of the things is
lung
they show
collapse.
him, yeah,
Bone
Yeah.
went into his liver.
Ugh.
yeah,
I can
moving
tell you from
around on like a
experience.
scooter thing, and then but he's coming out. That's gonna be a good one to watch, I think.
I can tell you from experience. I've ridden on those things. I grew up skiing in Vermont, and he's really lucky that happened on the West Coast and it wasn't on packed powder. Because if he was on an East Coast mountain and that happened, it's nothing but ice, and he probably would have there would have been nothing left of him. So the elements were definitely in his favor on that, and he's extremely lucky.
Oh yeah, and he's well aware of that. Like, I'm looking forward to that interview. Once that
April
comes out,
6th.
April 6th, okay.
Thursday.
We
Thursday.
will, I guess, talk about that next week. So yeah, so
Dubstep's like pussies. You're so dark. Are you sure you're not from the DC universe? I love dubstep.
You know, I never got that joke until I realized he played Jonah Hex.
yeah, and then Josh Brolin said Jonah Hex was the role that almost made him never want to do another superhero type movie again. And
now how many has he been in?
look at that. Yeah, he's Cable and he's Thanos. He's like
He's simultaneously Cable and Thanos.
It's like Jonah Hex was a mess, but
That was
that's no reason to
it's been memory hold.
wipe the slate on all.
I didn't even remember it until you brought it up.
Yeah.
And the only way I could convince Luke that Jonah Hex was a DC comic was because Jonah Hex also appeared in an episode of Batman the Animated Series. So I was like, look, there's Jonah Hex. There he is, and now we can watch the movie. So
the All-Star Westerns, though, weren't really designed for movies. It would have been a much better show. It would have been a much better anthological show than it would have been a movie.
But at that time, that was like a time when they were looking for new superhero movies to make, and they weren't necessarily like the MCU wasn't a huge thing.
I don't think it was a thing at all.
At that time. Yeah,
It was
So,
like
they were
how
just
can
looking
you
for
follow
different
up
characters
the
to
Green
make
Lantern?
movies about.
the Green Lantern was a pretty big turd. How can we follow that up? How about we do a movie about Jonah Hex?
Ooh,
Yeah,
the
good idea,
Civil
guys.
War. A guy who identifies with the Confederacy. How can we go wrong? Okay. Where'd you get the skull cap from, Chris? This actually was a gift from my sister. She knew that I was a big old Marvel fan, and so she got this for me. And the crazy thing is, it really lights up. Like if you take a picture, like the flash goes off, there's the little
Filaments.
white bits in it shines up immediately. So it's like it's actually like a anti-theft, like because it brights up so bright you can't see my face if someone takes a flash picture because it just goes like psh, and you just see a blur. And I'm like, that's neat. That's Stark Technologies right there. So yeah, I got that from my sister. I don't know where she got it. I apologize. So what we're gonna do right now is let's get our theme song out there. And I couldn't find. Oh, okay. So I'll leave it up to you. Let's get a vote from the panel. Do we want our Ant-Man Quantum opener, or do
No,
we
that'll
want
remind me of Murdoch.
Guardians of the Galaxy holiday opener? It sounds like we want that.
Which one has the Hulk in it? Yeah, where not the Hulk, but
Either of those two.
it-
I know
no,
what you're
the-
talking about.
yeah.
That's Miss Marvel.
The Miss Marvel one.
Brah, 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 brah.
That Modoc, man, that's nightmare fuel.
I like that they spent time animating his ass and they didn't do a good enough job on his face. But anyway,
they did a better job on Paint Shop in 1997.
We're 10 minutes in, so it's time for our theme song.
You should just cue the music.
God, every time I hear that theme song, I'm just like, what an angelic choir that is. Sounds wonderful. It's me, and maybe that's part of why I feel that way. I'm just like, wow, where did they record this? Was it in like some sort of cathedral? And I'm like, no, it's right. It's here. I just added an echo effect. It's you got to do what you got to do.
Shut up and take my money.
Now, anyway, what do we want to do first? Actually, let's talk about Dungeons and Dragons at the end, since I don't think anyone's seen it here but me. Blue Beetle, let's talk about that second, since that's not MCU related. So I guess the first thing would be Secret Invasion. As you can tell, I've planned this all out methodically.
Far in advance.
Throwing this crap together. Okay. Secret Invasion. You guys ready for this trailer?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so yeah.
I haven't seen it yet either. I'm very excited. So I like the first one. I like Nick Fury. And with everything they've been doing with Phase 4, it's good to get back into the old classics. MCU.
Fury, since you've been gone, things have gotten much worse. How do you think I came back?
He's Nick Furious.
You're in no shape for this fight that lies before us, old friend.
Bicono.
This is personal.
Very few of us know about the wars fought in the shadows that have raged on this planet. Do you feel responsible?
No.
Where are the Avengers? This war is one I have to fight alone. You're the most wanted man on the planet.
Little roadie there.
You don't know what they have planned for you.
The great Nick Fury.
He's got venom powers.
One last fight.
Oh, see, and even after this, he's going to be gone. One last fight. So many things seem to be ramping up towards the end. Like Guardians of the Galaxy is like one last time, and this one's like Nick Fury's like, all right,
Even
one more, and it's going to be this, and it's like there's no superheroes in it. It's just some.
well, even Ant-Man and the Wasp, one of the taglines from the trailer was, "I don't have to win. We both just have to lose," which is
And that they did.
how how uplifting and heartening, and it's like nice. Yay! So we've got that to look.
I'm pretty sure that's not how this works. I really want to win.
Everybody gets a trophy.
You don't always just get to win.
If we both lose, that's a tie, and ties are stupid.
All right, so thoughts about this trailer specifically. I will say, speaking of skull caps, and someone brought mine up, he's wearing one in almost every scene. And it's like, neato gang. This is personal. I'm going to my grave site. It's like, wait, you just have a grave? You buried something there? What did you bury there? There are some things that I want to know, but at the same time, I'm just like, what is this going to do? They're even talking about, it's like, do you feel guilty about the wars that have been waged in the background? And it's like, how would we even have no one? This is the first time any of us are hearing about this. Unless he just knew that shit was happening the whole time. And he's like, I thought the Avengers were more important.
I'm anxious to see it. I mean, even after this one, I think somebody said it in one of our comments today, was looks very Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that was Andrew too.
Well, part of the reason that it looks Winter Soldier, I think, is because, well, okay, I will say right there that's why I said he's got Venom powers. Like, it looks Winter Soldier. That's because this is he's Groot. What's happening?
I am Twigman.
It looks Winter Soldier because there's no people with superpowers running around except for like this one guy. And then the thing that if you know what's going on with Secret Invasion, the whole thing is that it's Skrulls invading, so they're shapeshifters. So they've been doing this, and who knows who they've infiltrated. I think that aspect of it is more interesting to me than anything else, is the fact that, like,
I'm anxious to see how they spin this, because, you know, in Captain Marvel, we're introduced to the Skrulls, and it turns out that they're not really bad, even though in the comics, like, they're the bad guys, but these ones aren't really, really bad. So is this going to be...
They're refugees. How
if
dare you categorize them as bad people?
If I recall the lore correctly, I believe the Skrulls were initially bad.
Yeah.
But then
that's one of the reasons why they were hunted.
And the Kree were worse than the Skrulls.
Right. And it's hard to find them. Like, the Kree were hunting the Skrulls, but if it comes down to it, like, we're humans. There's Kree out there hunting Skrulls. Either way, neither of those two groups are going to be good for planet Earth. You know what I mean?
I mean,
this just happens to be a place where they're hiding, so the war's here now.
Was that
nitpick for a minute?
What do you say?
Was that Martin Freeman?
Oh yeah. There's
okay.
a quick clip of him.
Yeah, right there
in a skull cap. Not there.
No.
But I think he's in an alleyway and he's also wearing a skull cap.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I missed it.
If I can nitpick this for a minute, and this is just another example of the MCU kind of getting out of touch with the audience, this trailer would have been the perfect time to introduce one of the members of the Fantastic Four, because the Krees and the Skrulls were heavily involved with the Fantastic Four. And would have been a great debut piece. You know, you have like that quick glimpse of like Reed Richards or Susan Storm.
Eris, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I think maybe it'll happen in the movie. Maybe it will. But I swear to God, we've been doing this show for like over 2 years, right?
Yeah.
I remember back when we're talking about like WandaVision. It's like, oh my gosh. Every single time there's a new thing coming out, I'm just sitting there going, this would be a great opportunity to introduce an X-Men or a person, or just to show that it's happening. And it never did. And the closest we came was a freaking boner alert.
He looks suspiciously like Matthew Lillard in this shot, by the way. I just have to point that out.
I should have worn my shirt. Those are available in the shop, by the way. Go buy one.
Link is in.
But I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, and I think it's another mark they missed because this is what happens when you don't have people that know the source material in the writing room. And will it be a good movie? It looks like it's a good movie. It looks like the VFX are a lot better than the past movies. It looks like
Be a show.
It's a show. It's not a movie.
TV show. It's not a movie.
oh, this is going to be a show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Disney
I think
Plus.
it's Disney Plus 6-part series or so.
My apologies. I
don't
should
know
have
if
known
they-
that. I would have much rather seen a Sergeant Fury and Howling Commandos miniseries. That would have been awesome to see how Nick Fury became who he was. But
Well, yeah, but the thing is, they even put part of that into the original Captain Marvel movie, and it was like, hey, you know that scar that he's got over his eye? Wouldn't it be dope if that was from Wolverine, and that's how they introduced Wolverine? It's like, yeah, no, it was a cat. Be careful.
It wasn't a cat. It was a flurkin.
Yeah, but still, it was a fucking cat. It was a cat, and it should have been Wolverine. And like that's like a missed opportunity. Boom.
Well,
Like,
and even with Wanda,
We don't know what we did.
because with WandaVision, at that point, Fox had already been purchased. So it was like, okay, now we know they've
Yeah.
already said we're gonna get X-Men. So it's like, yeah, why not introduce one during WandaVision? Why
that's
not
why I
one in
kept
Falcon and Winter
looking
Soldier?
forward to that moment where there was like, this is going to be it. This is going to be where they introduce it. And even in, oh my God, I was looking so much forward to Doctor Strange too, because like that'll be when they do it. And it's like, nah, it's just going to be
I'm having issues for a minute. I got to log out and log back in. I'll be right back.
Okay,
you're banned.
that's it.
Yeah, no, I get exactly what you're saying. Like, I keep looking forward to these moments, and then they never occur. And
The first one we got was in Miss Marvel when he said, and that wasn't even an X-Men thing. That was hey, you've got some kind of weird mutation going on. It was like, oh, okay, we're touching on this now.
Don't touch it, Debbie. What are your thoughts on this trailer?
I like it, and I agree with what Andrew said earlier. And I've been seeing it all over the internet where everybody's getting that Winter Soldier vibe from this trailer. Excited to see Emily Clark. I love her.
True.
And yeah,
And I love Samuel L. Jackson.
mm-hmm.
You notice his beard goes through a whole bunch of stuff in this trailer.
So yeah, how long of a time period is his?
Obviously, long enough to grow a beard.
In the future, unless he's a scroll.
What concerns me is Nick Fury is arguably one of the most important, whether it's in the 616 or the Ultimate. Clearly, this is the Ultimate Nick Fury that they chose for the film adaptations. But he's arguably one of the most important characters in Marvel without anyone even knowing he's that important. So are they going to end him? Is this really going to be his final battle? Or is he going to be like a James Bond type and someone else is going to come in and be Nick Fury? Or
is Captain America on the moon?
Is Captain America on the moon?
We don't know. I mean, that was something that was hinted at in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and that's something that happened in the comics. But it's like and that's part of the problem that they just keep throwing things, and they're like, well, if we end up deciding to like doing that, then we'll make a movie out of it, and then if we don't end up liking it, then that'll just be something that we threw into the background.
I will be.
Well, just in this last phase, we've had 3 instances of somebody being introduced in an end credits scene, and it's like, are you going to do something with this, or is this just a thing to say, hey, look what we did? Because you had what's his name, and you had Hercules and
right, yeah, Thor,
and Thor
movie.
Yeah, you had, and Doctor Strange had one, and the Eternals had one. And it was
and
like
Doctor Strange, it really seemed like
if the Eternals had one, they can do it again because no one saw it.
And it was a terrible film, so no one should watch it, and they should just try and focus on the next thing and try and not make it a terrible freaking film. I'm not going to get into the Eternals right now.
I'm already upset with how Marvel Studios has treated Hank Pym, who is the most important Avenger. So I really don't want them to just.
Well, first of all, I think they should have made Hank Pym. They've made him seem much nicer than he is. And if you've only seen the Marvel movies, you might say, well, he seems kind of like a dick. And I'm like, in actuality, he's a drunk wife beater. So we should really be
but
really get into the vices of these heroes. They're like,
and he's
Tony
important to the
Stark,
world.
we know
and
that
they
he
kinda
was
made
a
him footnote.
drunk, but yeah, like that's something that we should really be like, let's examine what did you have to overcome to do the right thing? Like your personal human vices, what did you overcome to beat them? I think that is partially why this this show is going to be interesting, because it's Samuel L. Jackson. He's the one who put together the original team, so it's like, let's see what this guy can do on his own.
I'm nervous about it, but I do kind of have faith in it because Samuel L. Jackson does respect this character so much, and he does have the clout. If one of these pissant writers comes in and says, "We're going to do this," he'd be like, "No, I'm not." That's not going to happen.
But now, in whatever year this is, the audience wants action and seats with beverage holders, but mainly action.
Yeah, so I think he respects the character. And I think he has the clout. He has the most clout in the MCU.
Yeah, after Tony Stark, obviously, Robert Downey Jr., Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson is like the next biggest thing. And he's been absent for a while.
And like Robert Downey Jr., he's respected the source material and he's done the research. Like when Robert Downey Jr. got hired as Iron Man, a lot of people don't know. He went to like a comic book shop and bought a bunch of back issues and read every single one.
Yep.
And
I've seen his screen tests. It was great. It's almost exactly what he ended up doing in the show itself. And Stan Lee even said that dude is Iron Man. Like, he is portraying the character as I envisioned the character, and as the person that created the character, I think I would know best. This guy's nailing it.
Yeah, and there's not enough of that in these movies. A lot of these people come in and get the paycheck. Like, I mean, I don't want to bring her up and go off track, but Brie Larson, when she got hired for Captain Marvel, she was like, "Well, there was no script, so I just kind of wung it. You couldn't stop into a bookshop and bought a book with your character in it, and just giving it a quick."
She's done some tone deaf things, I think, but
that's like being hired as Captain Ahab and be like, "I've never read this book. All I know is I have a wooden leg."
This image right here is what gives me some pause, some concern. I was like, what
exactly is going on?
Because that's not shape-shifting.
Kind of looks like a Twizzlers commercial. Like where someone's gonna fight.
We're a Red Vine family. Thank you very much. I will not be seeing this film. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, because people were saying I like the Captain America Winter Soldier vibe. One of the reasons I really like that film is like the fight scenes in that is just like them fighting. It's not like there's laser beams and things crazy. It's just like, hey, what if you had maybe more than the regular human amount of like stamina and strength and whatnot, and then you're pitted against another person just like that. And that's one of the reasons that's exciting and fun to watch, because you fear for them. And then when they're actually doing the fight scenes, oh my gosh, I can never forget when he's fighting Winter Soldier and they're doing the hand-to-hand combat, and then the knife is coming at him and he blocks it, and Winter Soldier drops the knife and catches it with his other hand and goes at him. And I'm like that is super humanly awesome, but it's also like believable. And
And that was
and this scene is what makes me think it's like, what else is happening here? There's more than just.
But what I'd like to point out with Winter Soldier on why everyone liked it is I think that was one of Ike Perlmutter's last movies. And then after that, it slowly went downhill. Perlmutter put out a lot of really good content that put the MCU way ahead of DC. And him and Feige didn't get along. Feige talked to the right people and Perlmutter was out. But now it's kind of like...
Yeah.
You know?
Well, on that note, I'll say, does anyone have any last thoughts they want to talk about for that trailer? Anything that we didn't mention you want to talk about? Or
I mean, I'll go first and say I think it's a typical DC production trailer. It's going to give you a lot of quotes. You're not really going to know what it's about unless you know the story.
Well, wait. Are you talking about
the trailer?
Secret Invasion?
Yeah, Secret Invasion.
You said DC and that.
No. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's Marvel. Sorry, one track mind.
We're about to move on to that.
It's a Disney production, and it's a classic trailer, and it leaves you just enough mystery to kind of want to research it and look into it more. And that's the best thing Disney does with their marketing. They do not lay it all out on the table, and they make you want to explore, and they make you want to know more about the movie you want to see.
I definitely think that's true for like the casual viewer. You know?
If you want to know what it's about, go to a comic book shop, buy the trade paperback, because that's all the issues all together, and you just read the trade paperback.
Yeah, that
you're
too.
Absolutely right, David. That's the thing is like, but what Amber said about it. Think about like not a nerd, like none of us like someone that's just like, what'll I do this weekend? Oh, there's a new movie out, or what have I got? And that's like part of the thing that they're dealing with is they have to deal with the fact that it's Disney Plus. So they're trying to get people to subscribe to that. But
see, and I have the edge because this is what I was reading when you're trying to catch up and you stuffed me into that locker. I was the guy reading this while I was waiting for someone to get me out.
And it's like, well, then why aren't you Kevin Feige? And it's like, well, not everyone can be Kevin Feige.
No one can sport a strap.
We can't all be the rich, famous person, but I can know what the hell I'm talking about without having to. Yeah, but the casual person is just like, all right, whatever, nerd. Is this going to entertain me for a while? And for most people, it's going to be like, oh, Samuel Jackson. I'll check it out. Was Martin Freeman in there? That's a token white guy. We have fun. That's what we do here. We have fun. But yeah, I see Samuel Jackson.
Shut up and take my money.
He's never been in a movie I haven't liked. Yeah.
It's like Nicholas
Except
Cage.
for now, he was at Age of Ultron, and that's an abomination to me.
What about Black Snake Moan?
I wouldn't say it's an abomination.
It should have been called The Story of Ultron and His Endless List of Monologues. It's like, just kill us already, man.
Well, if they were, I'm just saying, James Spader, I love listening to him talk. So what their big mistake afterwards was then when the side pieces came out and like, oh, here's Ultron back again, and they didn't get him to do those voices again. It's like the one good thing about Ultron was that it was James Spader, and you're like, nah.
I just felt like Seth Green and Austin Powers in that movie where he's like, I will lift this city up. And it's like, no, dude, you're like the most intelligent being in the universe. Just annihilate everybody. You don't need to even intimidate us. Just do it.
He's not the most, but that's the thing. That's the thing is that he's directly related to, created from, and this is something that you would say, it's like Hank Pym should be involved. It was Hank Pym, I agree. But Tony Stark was part of that. So in the MCU universe, when you've got Ultron, that's his weakness, is that he should be smarter than that. He should be better than that, but he's still obsessed with these human things, and that's why he has to like taunt Tony and do stuff like that. And it's like, if you didn't do that, you just would have. And then you could also say, well, every villain ever should just never
monologue.
Tell the
hero what's their plan like 6 times.
Oh, this, and he actually says that. By the way, he actually says that in the movie. Oh, this is the part where I reveal my huge plan, and then he blows him away. I'm like, that actually happens in that movie. So I think you do need to take a minute and like,
it's like, I know Joss Whedon likes words, but he used a lot of them in that one.
I get it. Look, everyone hates Iron Man 2 until I explain how amazing it is. So, not that we're going to do that right now, but I could. I'm not going to. Iron Man 2 is amazing. And
go back and watch some of our previous episodes. You'll get it.
Age of Ultron is okay.
Who's they? What the hell is an aluminum falcon?
So,
I'll never get tired of that skit.
Are we ready? Are we ready to watch the Blue Beetle trailer?
Yeah.
Actually, oh wait, Debbie, this is one that So this next clip is one that Debbie sent me a message, and she was like, "What was that Blade clip? What was that Blade clip where they're fighting but no one's hitting each other? What was that?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I definitely." What are they?
I need that clip for Thursday night show.
Oh, I'll send it to you. Okay.
All right.
No doubt. I'll send that to you. I'm having a great time tonight. I hope that everyone else is as well. Let us video file. Yes. Blue Beetle.
Kill it with fire.
Excuse me, Mr. Reyes? You finished scraping the gum off that lounger or what?
Everything right now feels so out of reach.
You always land on your feet, bro. You're Hyman.
He's a cat man.
They don't get out much.
I just want to rap.
Jenny?
Guard that with your life, but do not open it.
You went in to get us jobs, and all you brought back was a hamburger?
Big belly burger.
Okay, I don't think it's a burger.
You haven't looked?
What the hell is that?
How did you get it to do that?
I think he likes me.
It's on your face! Get it out! Get it out! Hyman.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. What the?
Host acquired.
Who said that?
Yeah,
Okay, it's gonna be okay. Space.
Re-entry systems ready.
Wait, no.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want.
What is going on?
I just wanna rock.
It's called the Scarab. It's some kind of world-destroying weapon. It's designed to protect its host.
This ain't what you want.
Sometimes it does what you want, and sometimes it doesn't.
Body out of here.
I think I cut a bus in half.
The Scarab chose you, but it belongs to me.
That love you feel for your family makes you weak.
I just wanna rock. You won't kill my vibe, stand on my money, don't lose my side.
The universe has sent you a gift, and you have to figure out what you're gonna do with it.
That's my high. 1, 2, 3, 4, throw up to 5.
Whatever you can imagine, I can create.
Let's party.
Yeah!
Nice choice.
I just wanna rap.
It's like Batman stuff. Batman's a fascist. I just want to rap.
What the fuck was that?
Is Batman a fascist?
Who even knows who the... Oh my goodness. Okay. I liked a lot of that trailer as far as just trailers are concerned. They did a lot of stuff right in this trailer. That last bit did not. I don't know. Debbie, what did you think about this trailer?
I liked it. I don't know diddly squat about Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looks funny. I mean, hell, it's got George Lopez in it, and we haven't seen him in forever and a day.
His best movie was Ski Patrol.
I don't know. I liked Balls of Fury. Balls of Fury.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, he was the FBI agent.
Yeah, I a lot of the stuff that I see in this, I liked it. I liked the Scarab. I liked it attaching to him, and my knowledge of Blue Beetle, again, mostly just comes from Young Justice, and that's the animated show about the DC, mostly like the sidekicks, you would say, but yeah, and he's great in that. And I liked the relationship between. That was one of the things I liked about his character in that show, was that like he has things that he wants to do, and then like the Scarab is like has its own ideas of what's right. And the whole thing was the Scarab is at least in that. I don't know if this is the way that it's always is, but the Scarab is like they said in this trailer, a world destroying thing. So it's supposed to take a host and then prime the world for conquest. But this one is, or at least in Young Justice, the one that attaches to him is damaged a little, so he doesn't necessarily have to do the thing that's world conquest stuff. He can kind of use it, do what he wants to do. John Ambrose is with us, so I'd like to ask his opinion on that, because I know
I have a very lengthy rant, so please go to everyone else before I go. I would like them to have their time.
Okay, so does anyone else have anything else that they want to say about this trailer?
Other than Blue Beetle also died in the Death of Superman comic books back in the mid-90s, and that's about the extent that I know.
Well, that was... There were two Blue Beetles.
There was two, yeah. But also too, I'm curious: is this tied with things like Shazam and Black Adam, and is this the Snyderverse? Is this part of the Snyderverse? Because if so,
from
what are
I
they doing?
It was supposed to be for HBO Max, and then someone pushed for a theatrical release.
That's for Black Adam.
No, for Blue Beetle.
Oh, Blue Beetle?
Yeah.
I look at it, and they had said when James Gunn took over, it's like, we're going to reboot everything. We're just going to kind of start over and do it right this time. And I see stuff like this still coming out. You've still got this. You've still got Aquaman's coming out. You've still got The Flash coming out. And I'm like, why shelve these movies and then start over like you wanted to do and do the proper story?
Yeah.
Well, Ezra Miller
and why do you
shield?
And why do you start with the Blue Beetle? I mean, seriously.
Well, because they probably already were spending a lot of time on this, and look at the special effects. Money has been invested, way more money than that freaking Batwoman monstrosity. All right, like we've got to make some of our coin back on this investment, and I'd like that part right there. There's like horror aspects to it. Like it's not just purely, yay, superhero. I think they do some good stuff there, and I like the HUD, the view there. But okay, so wait. Anything else? Anyone else before John goes? Debbie, did you have anything else that you wanted to say? Or
nope.
Okay, to quote one of my favorite comedians, Dennis Miller, I'm going to go on a rant here. Don't mind me.
Strap in.
The 9/10 of the trailer is great. It makes me want to watch the movie. But I, like many other people, am a long-suffering DC fan. I've always favored DC over Marvel. I've been waiting for DC to get its crap together to compete with Marvel. And so here you have brilliant marketing. Guys, we're going to have a mid-tier character. We just hired a new person to run the DCEU, so it's going to be a lame duck movie. The fans are incredibly disenfranchised. And also, no one knows who this character is. So, yeah, I don't even know if he's mid-tier. So they say all that, and then it's like, okay, but it's a superhero movie. We'll still generate. How do we market it? We can market it. Kids love superheroes. Insult Batman.
And that was a dumbass move.
Because here's the thing. The reason you can make this movie
is because of Batman.
Batman supports Batman pretty much keeps DC afloat. And somewhere along the line,
it's like Batman stuff. Batman's a fascist.
Somewhere along the line, some person, probably with purple hair, woke up and was upset that they weren't offended. So they got on the internet, and the first thing they saw was Batman, and they created a narrative that Batman was a fascist and he had too much money.
Yeah, where does that even come from?
It's been something. It's been a narrative for like 1.5 years now.
Batman's a fascist?
And like,
he's rich.
In fact, honestly, if you research the G4 debacle, that was an interview question on G4. Why should Batman be canceled?
His power is being white.
His power is being a rich white guy. So,
and also, having martial arts training and doing, well, he could only do that because he was rich. I was like, okay, pick a race and make him rich.
I just want to know when
thing.
The only two industries right now that can openly alienate their fans with impunity are the movie industry and the comic book industry. Like, imagine walking into a liquor store and be like, hey, could I have a bottle of Jameson? Here you go, you drunk bastard. No, that wouldn't fly. But you can insult a character that 90% of your fans love.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Because it's like, why do you have the ability to make a Blue Beetle movie? Well, that's because this franchise exists. Why does the franchise exist? Well, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, boom. And in the current culture, the last 30 years or so, Batman has been the biggest thing. So how do we get people to come see our new movie? Well, first of all, we're riding on the coattails of Batman and of people like that. So this is an unknown character. And then what do we do at the end of the trailer? Let's say Batman's a piece of shit.
And it's mind-boggling. Because
I don't know who Blue Beetle is, but I know who Batman is, and I like Batman. And if you don't like Batman, then screw you. So no, I'm not going to go see your Blue Beetle movie because I'm a Batman. It's like,
and
who's your marketing director? Like, who approved that?
And when are they going to get fired?
Yeah,
and it's
like
already too late because
I mean, the thing is, I
don't care.
I mean, the thing is, I look at it and it's like you're insulting the fans again. You're just.
Oh my god! That's
shut
what
up
I was
and watch
arguing
it.
about. The reason that this stream started late is because I was arguing with people on Facebook because I'm an idiot about Star Wars, about the new. They were like, "Well, the Holdo maneuver isn't that bad," and I'm like, "It's a universe-breaking thing." Okay, if you can't see that, that's fine. If you're not into the culture enough, that's fine. But if you are a huge Star Wars fan and you like Star Wars, the Holder maneuver existing means that it's just a universe-breaking thing. It's like if in the Two Towers, somebody opened up a chest and was like, oh my goodness, look, a bunch of Uzis, pass these out. And they start like shooting up all the orcs with Uzis. And it's like, whoa, that looks really cool. But now that I think about it, it's probably not good. Did it look neat? Yes, it did. Did it fit? No.
And I'm glad you brought that point up, because Batman fans are just as militant as Star Wars fans, if not more. They protect that brand.
Yeah.
So I'll say probably.
Well, you care about the things that you love. And that's what I think people don't understand. And that's why I keep seeing this phrase. And it's not, I can't imagine it's said by like true, actual, deep Star Wars fans. But I keep seeing it because they're casual fans of Star Wars. Of course, it's the biggest thing ever. So there are people that have seen it and blah, blah, blah. But, they'll get into a chat and they'll be like, nobody hates Star Wars like Star Wars fans. And it's like, every time I see that, I just want to slap them in the face like 17 times and be like, are you kidding me? Have you ever seen a football fan when a call goes against what they think? And have you seen how enraged they get? Do you then say, nobody hates football like football fans? Okay, no.
Yeah, nobody's more rich than a Philadelphia TV salesman when the Eagles
they're
lose.
Passionate about that thing. So if someone's getting upset about something, it's probably because they know a crap load more about the subject than you do, and you're an idiot walking. Well, you must really hate this. Oh my goodness.
But what I will say, and we're going from
that's not right.
We're going for monetization, so I'm not going to say the words I want to say. But the thing is, I'll estimate that probably 90% of the people that were going to see this movie are Batman fans. And off the bat with that trailer, whether that quote is taken out of context or not, 50% of that 90% is not going now.
Well, I was fully enjoying the trailer, and I was like, this actually looks more enticing to me than like Shazam even looked like. The trailers that I'm seeing, this and Blue Beetle, as just from the character that I've seen in Young Justice, I'm like, that could be something that I'm interested in. Then that last little bit is just like,
no, that killed it. The 90% of the 90, the 50%.
Well, Batman's a fashion. Well, I can just
bother.
Chalk that up to like the crazy uncle or whatever. But even if you do chalk it up to that's just the crazy uncle or grandfather or whatever, or just like the kook, whatever you're gonna say, you still decided to put it in the trailer. Like that's something you could have put in the movie.
So it could be taken out of context because people are just going to look at this trailer and go, no.
And I pointed that out. It might very well be taken out of context. But like I said, 90% of DC fans are there for Batman. And 50% of that 90% is going to look at it and be like, I'm not doing this. I can't. No, I'm not going to see this movie. Why? Why am I going to do this to myself?
Why am I going to pay some money